I love baseball cards. Got 'em, need 'em, got 'em, need 'em, need 'em, need 'em, got 'em, need 'em.
Welcome back to another episode of Remember the Great Sports. I'm going to share with you a card show pickups video, but I have a lot of stuff to cover, so hopefully I don't talk too much about one item, a whole heck of a lot, because I sometimes get long-winded. But the first thing I want to start with is I have finally gotten into the 21st century, and I bought some card stands for 50 cents a piece. So I don't know if that's a good deal on these, but I saw a vendor there that was selling these, for only 50 cents. And I thought, I could really use these in my videos. So I'm going to set them out methodically here and try to get you a good idea of what cards I picked up. So I'm going to change them out, throughout the video, but here we go. Alright, so I think we'll go cheapest first. How's that sound? So we're going to start with some real cheap quarter cards. And one of my favorite type of cards, and I'm thinking of doing a whole video on these, are these weird hologram cards. And this is hard to see, but that's a Rickey Henderson. And it came in this holder. And I remember seeing these at like Kmart back in the day when I was a kid, and I bought the Will Clark one like this, and it came with like a ticket, like a facsimile ticket of the game in the hologram. And this was something that, holograms were the craze. And the second one comes from Denny's, and that is a Cal Ripken Jr. Denny's Grand Slam card. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be from the first year that they did the set, or the second year. I can't tell. They're pretty identical. So, only a quarter a piece for those. And I absolutely love my hologram cards from the 90s. So, they were, anybody that collected in the 90s knows how big of a deal hologram cards were then. Now, these next ones, I talked about, were some of my favorite type of cards, and these are leaders cards. And there is a 1970 Topps Fergie Jenkins Bob Gibson, and that was actually free. The dealer gave it to me for nothing. And here are the 72 earned run leaders with Steve Carlton and Louis Tiant. That's a 73 Topps, and that was only 30 cents. So a little bit more than a quarter. And finally, the 72 stolen base leaders with Bert Campaneris and Lou Brock. And I brought up on one of another YouTuber's channels that I thought Bert Campaneris ought to be a Hall of Famer. And, his batting average isn't the best, but he's one of those guys that played forever in the league. And, he was a very good shortstop. Very underlooked, at the position that he played. He played the majority of his career for teams that weren't so good. He played for the Yankees, so I'm not going to say that they weren't good. But playing for the Kansas City A's, playing for the California Angels. He obviously was on the A's when they won their World Series titles, though, so those were good teams. But most of his career, he was overshadowed by other stars, would be the best way to put it. So, very happy to add those. Now these last two, just a couple Cardinals. Nothing special about these. Out of Donner's Optic. Only paid a quarter for it. On the Molina. And this looks like what are these? Topps Chrome. Carlos Martinez refractor purple thing. Refractor. But again, only 25 cents. So we're going to move on. I'm not going to put all the cards on the stand. That would just take too much time. This next deal, these were only $2 a piece. So the first one is a Derek Harper autograph out of the most recent Optic I actually was at this dealer's table. Oh, it's numbered to 25. And he was actually cracking the packs like this, and let's just say to his displeasure, he pulled a Derek Harper autograph, which I have to agree, that would kind of upset me if I bought a box of expensive Donruss optics and pulled Derek Harper. I don't care if it is numbered to 25. So I said, well, what do you want for the Harper? And he's like, how about $4? And I said, how about 2? And he's like, okay. That's more than I'd probably get for it anyway. And I also, being a Spurs fan, bought a Kawhi Leonard from a different dealer, number to 199. And this is also a newer card out of the Optic. So happy to get that Kawhi Leonard. Now from the seller that I bought the Derek Harper from, I was happy to get a couple jerseys, jersey cards I should say, not jerseys, of some of my favorite NBAers ever. And the first is Tim A, of course, Tim Duncan. And this was only $2. And does that get a number on it? No. That one is not serial numbered, but that's okay. So that was only $2. It was actually a little less than $2, and I'll show you why in a second. Then one of my other favorite out of that same set is a Steven Adams. Very good lunch pail, hard-nosed basketball player for the Thunder. Very underrated. Love the way he plays basketball. Very, very underrated. The way he plays ball is the way I was taught how to play ball. I'm not going to act like I was a good basketball player by any means, but I was definitely not a finesse basketball player when I played. So I was more like a bull in the china shop type like Steve Adams is there. So I think his deal was $2 a piece, going back to the 2 up here at the top, was $2 a piece, or you could, I want to say $2 a piece or 6 for 10. Sounds about right. So those were my favorite jersey cards, and I decided to pull a couple. I pulled another jersey card out of there, out of the Team USA set from Donruss Elite of Matthew Ruddick. And again, this isn't anything special. But I pulled a couple more autographs out, got another Spur, and this is their first round pick from about a year ago, and that's Derek White. So another San Antonio Spur. Out of that, oh, and that one is serial numbered to 199. So White hasn't played too much this year with the emergence of DeJounte Murray, Patty Mills, obviously Tony Parker. So they're pretty stacked at that position, but obviously the Spurs wouldn't have drafted him if they didn't see something in him. So hopefully, I'm pulling for you, Derek. Hopefully you become part of the Spurs system here in the very near future. And finally, a San Diego Padre autograph of Carlos Asuje, if I'm saying that right. And on this card, he's a Red Sox, but he's with the Padres. So for the Adams, the Duncan, and these other two, I only paid $10. So less than $2 per card. So moving on to the next stack here. This was a pretty good deal as well. I'm a little more proud of this deal, I guess. And we'll come back to this seller in a little bit. Alright, this next item is kind of more or less a impulse buy. You know, kind of like when you go to Walmart or Target or wherever and you see them on the shelf, the blaster boxes, and you're like, I'm going to buy that and just see what I get. So, individual is selling blaster boxes at the show, and I decided to buy the 2018 USA Baseball Stars and Stripes, Panini. And this one has 2 autographs or memorabilia per box. So I almost ripped it open and was going to show it off, you know, just say here's what I got. But I think I'm going to shoot a separate video just opening these packs up and see if you guys want to see that. Just comment below if you want to see me open these up and share with you, you know, to the YouTube world what I pull out of this. If not, not a big deal. I'll just open them up. It's only 7 packs. not a big deal. So only paid 18 bucks for that. That's pretty much what they are retail. You know, if you find them at Target or whatever, you can get these for under 20 bucks a box. So, you know, not a great deal, but this is one of those impulse buys. We're going to play the lottery and see what we pull. Now, with that said, this next deal, I actually got an autograph out of here, and it's one of the best autographs out of the set. Well, it potentially could be, because these are draft picks, and I'll share that with you right off the bat. This last dealer sold me this JB Bukakis, and it's numbered to $4.99 autograph out of that Stars and Stripes set. So we're going to open that box up. Hopefully I don't pull another one of those, because that kind of would stink. I mean, but if you guys don't know who JB is, he was the Houston Astros #1 pick last year. So very highly touted prospect in the Astros organization. Now, from the same seller, I was able to make this deal, and this is almost unbelievable, okay, for whom I'm about to show you. This first one is a Hall of Famer, and again, this was part of the deal, is a Jim Rice autograph card, numbered to 50. Okay. The next one is a Paul Molitor autograph, numbered to 25. And I'm not sure what set that is. That's a pretty plain looking card. So, Simply Supreme. Okay. So, Paul Molitor autograph. And finally, another Hall of Famer. And I'm not really wild about these type of cards. You know, to each his own. If you like collecting these, I'm sorry if I offend you. But this is a 2017 Legendary Cut John Mackey autograph. And this is numbered 22 of 27, so very limited. But here are my thoughts on these type of cards. You have to literally damage an item to make it a card. I mean, Hall of Fame plaques, 8x10s, you know, 5x7s. You know, you're literally cutting the card or the item to make it into a card. Now, if it's a piece of paper, that's one thing, okay? But this clearly was a photo or maybe a oversized card or something of John Mackey. You know, why do you have to destroy that to put it on a card? I mean, I would rather see the companies put redemption cards for the item itself so you could send it in and get it redeemed. I mean, just not a really big fan of these, but the deal was a good deal, so I took it. So, and finally, this last auto, and this, I hate to be mean, but this is probably the worst one out of the group, but this one has a huge upside, in my opinion, and that is a Domantas Sabonis autograph on the Pacers. And Domantas Sabonis, his father is Arvydas Sabonis, the Hall of Famer, who played for the Trailblazers back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But this is a very good basketball player. I feel he has a very good upside, you know, throughout his career. So, now I'm going to tell you what I paid for these. And you're just going to drop your jaw. Okay, all of these. Okay? I'll start out by saying that I paid 20 bucks for all of these. Okay? Now, if you do the math, that's $4 a card. Not bad. Okay? Well, this was my second deal with this vendor. My first deal was this. And I may have to cut the video to show this, so I apologize. Alright, so this next item, sorry about having to cut there, but we were just talking about these 5 autographs for 20 bucks. Well, this box was sitting on the dealer's table. And the box was open, obviously. It wasn't sitting, you know, like this. But when I opened the box, this is what I saw. And nothing too shocking there, okay? But this is what made me dig. Just to prove that there are motivated people out there to sell. This is not an error. 20 cards for $1. Nickel cards. My jaw dropped. I can't remember the last time that I saw nickel cards at a card show. And we're not talking junk wax stuff here. You know, we're talking insert cards. We're talking, you know, some serial numbered stuff. I even found a couple autographs out of this box. And we'll share those with you in a second. But, excuse me. I saw this on this dealer's table. And I said, am I reading that right? Are you saying nickel cards out of this box? He's like, yeah, take what you want. So I'm just going to move this from you. And my first thing was I jumped to the top loaders. And I said, well, they're in top loaders for a reason. I said, well, man, the top loaders are worth a nickel. I mean, I'm just going to take every one of the top loaded cards in here and, you know, we'll see, you know, we'll go from there. And again, these aren't anything that you're going to retire off of or anything like that. But as you can see, these are all, you know, insert cards, you know, whatever. Variations, you know, like that's a super refractor or whatever, numbered to 100 on that Aaron Hill. And again, it's a common player, but these are a nickel. I mean, there's a Cal Ripken Jr. Insert right there. You know, I mean, a nickel a piece. Don Mattingly. Insert. So, I did go through these a little bit, and I'm not going to go through the whole box. I mean, there's some Reggie Jackson inserts. 5 cents. I mean, I could not believe this. I mean, it's like, I know these aren't worth much. I mean, they're a couple dollar cards, whatever. So I said, you know what? I picked up the stack like I just did there. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this sight unseen. What do you want for the whole box? He said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, why don't I bundle this? You know, I'm going to buy those autographs. You know, I'm going to look around, buy some more stuff from you. But let me bundle this. What do you say about that? He's like, okay. So we agreed on $20 on the, almost dropped him there. We agreed on $20 on the autographs. Okay, so that was a done deal. So he said, I said, well, shoot me a number. What are you thinking on the box? He said, well, how about $25? I said, well, yeah. Here's the thing, though. I'm not really big into football. I mean, half the box is football. I'm not too big into football. You know, if it was all baseball, no hesitation, I'd give you 25 right now for it. I countered with $20. He said, okay, I want to get rid of him. So for $20, $20 is all that I paid. For what, 2,000 cards? I mean, 2,000 cards roughly. I mean, I don't know if there's 2,000 there. But sight unseen. I said, I'm not going to go through here and cherry pick. I'm not going to pull out, you know, what I want for myself. I don't know who's been through this already. And he's like, I really don't know either, to be honest with you. He said, I just threw this box together and, you know, whoever goes through it. They're nickel cards. I really don't care about them. So he's like, there might be good stuff in there. There may not. He's like, I don't even know what's in there. And I said, well, $20. He's like, sold. So this whole side is all baseball. This whole side is all football. And I'm just going to go through some of the football cards here. And these aren't, you know, there's a Peyton Manning right there. You know, I mean, a nickel. I mean, I don't know my football players that much. I mean, there's a serial numbered rookie of 99 right there. Robert Woods. You know, I mean, there's these goofy die-cut Topps Finest rookies in here. I'm going to have to put some soft sleeves on these. I don't want to mess them up. You know, Charlie Sims rookie. And again, I don't know if these are worth a lot or not, but I pull out some of the football, and look at this. a Dan Hampton autograph. I mean, a Hall of Fame autograph right there. I mean, I mean, there's a Joe Flacco, number to 49. Geno Smith, rookie. E.J. Manuel, rookie. Ooh, Johnny Manziel, there we go. I know him. I know I wouldn't give a nickel for one of those, to be honest with you. You know, there's a serial numbered, you know, to 49 rookie right there. So, sorry about getting the camera blurry there. So, I'm hitting almost 22 minutes on this video. Hit me with a comment and say, hey, I want to go through this box with you, man. I cannot believe you found nickel cards. You know, if you find nickel cards or dime cards or even quarter cards, usually they're crap from the 1990s that you don't want anyway. You know, I mean, how many 1994 Mike Piazzas can you buy? Even if they are a nickel a piece. I mean, you can only have so many, but these are premium cards. I mean, these are inserts. I mean, there's a Kinemata right there, numbered to 250. Julio Urias, numbered to 250. And there's a Griffey insert right there. I mean, a nickel a piece. I mean, there's a refractor Gene Segura, Carlos Gomez Elite, you know, numbered to something, $9.99. I mean, so, you know, shoot me a comment down below. If you want me to go through this box and just share it with you, I would be more than happy to do that. But being we're almost approaching 25 minutes, I just wanted to share with you these card show pickups. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. This is one of my favorite finds ever, is just getting this nickel box of cards and just going to the card show and walking out with a box of cards for 20 bucks. I mean, wow. Now, to close out, I said to this dealer, we're going to have future card shows. If you want to throw a box together of baseball like this, you know, I'm not so interested in the basketball or the football, but if you want to sell me a box for 20 bucks, I'll buy them from you all day if they're this type of card. You know, I mean, I'll buy multiple boxes at $20 a box if that's what you want to do. So we had a very good interaction. We shook hands and we moved on. And I hope this card seller, you know, hooks me up in the future. I told them that I was going to post this on my YouTube channel. I was very happy that I got this, and I shared, you know, him my YouTube channel address, and we'll go from there. So, in closing, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the pickups, and hope to see you next time in a card show pickup video.